Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I hope you haven't given up on me. I know it's been 4 or 5 days since I uploaded last, but I had to work, so that takes up a lot of my time. It's kind of hard to put all this together when I have to work. So anyways, here I am. It's been crazy the last several days. I recorded a couple videos I wanted to put up for you, but I decided to look into Judy Mikovits and do a little research on her because I really didn't know that much about her. And so I took the time to do that. I know that there's been several interviews that have come out recently with her in it, and I'm sure you've probably seen those. If you haven't, look up what you can because most of it's being taken down and it's information that you really need to know. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, but anyways, so I looked her up. I came across an interview that she did with Valuetainment here on YouTube. And I recorded an hour-long video for you last night. I got finished and I, went back to look at the video to see, make sure everything was in place, and my audio was screwed up. So I thought, okay, I'll re-record it first thing in the morning. When I got up this morning, they had taken her video down, the video down from Valuetainment. So it's gone. Of course, they're censoring every single thing right now, which reminds me, I'm going to try to be careful kind of how I say certain things through this because I really don't want it to get taken down before I have a chance to talk to y'all about it. But anyways, for those of you who watched the video with Deborah Tavares, I posted all the links and everything for those documents. Well, this is one of those documents that I posted, which I'll repost down here in the links below. And I really wanted to do a video and go over all this with you, but there's a lot in it. And I haven't had the time to sit down and just break it all down. But I'm going to kind of give you some idea of just what it's about. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that are in it. And I want you to understand that this right here has a lot to do with what is going on right now. Okay, it's going to put a lot of things into perspective. Why we're seeing the things that we're seeing, why things are falling apart the way that they are, and why they would want to do this. Okay, now, this was actually a PowerPoint presentation. It was put together by the National Security Commission for Artificial Intelligence. You're probably thinking, what the heck does artificial intelligence have anything to do with what's going on right now? Well, trust me, it does, and it's not good. This was acquired by epic.org using the Freedom of Information Act, as you can see right here. You can get this on their website. You can get it below in the description box. I'm going to post it there. This was put together in May of 2019. Now, the National Security Commission for Artificial Intelligence is not the only ones who are involved in this. This is also the Pentagon, the military intelligence, CIA, all the Silicon Valley players, and more. So you can do a little bit more research on that if you want to. Basically, what this document's all about, or this presentation is, it's a plan for the United States to make sure that they are the global leaders in AI adoption versus China. All right? They are terrified that China is going to beat them out in AI, becoming the world leaders in AI. And they absolutely cannot let that happen. We all know they've always been in competition with China. China, oh my gosh, China. Get over it because they're destroying lives right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to page 98 because I want you to read what this says right here. And if this doesn't explain it all, I don't know what to tell you. But before I do that, I want you to understand something. There's a way bigger picture here, okay? Think of what's going on right now as a game. It's a game, all right? And there's a whole team of players. And all these players that are on the team have their own agenda, All right. So each one they're fulfilling the agendas that they have. All right. So I want you just to remember that. All right. I'm not saying that this is the only reason why any of this is happening. All right. But I think it has a lot to do with it. And let me show you why I say that. I say that because of this. It says right here, and I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to explain to you what this means as simply as I can. So it says, being the unambiguous world leader in AI would broaden China's sphere of influence amongst an international community that increasingly looks to the pragmatic authoritarianism of China and Singapore as an alternative to Western liberal democracy. Now, basically, what that's saying is that if the United States does not make sure that they are the world leader in AI, they are going to lose their voice in the international community. And the only way that they're going to be able to make sure that they reach that goal is if they find an alternative to the Western liberal democracy that we have right now. Do you understand what that means? That means they're going to have to change our Constitution, which means that's going to affect our rights. Okay? It's serious. They ain't playing. It's not a joke. So they're doing all this because they have to be the world leaders. It's all about power. It's all about control. Now, I want you to consider, what is China's world like for the people that live there? They're under mass surveillance. They live on top of each other. The population is just out the roof. I mean, it's ridiculous. They don't live the same way we do because they don't have liberal democracy there. Now, I want you to look at this. February 11th, 2019, President Trump signed Executive Order 13859 announcing the American AI Initiative, the United States National Strategy on Artificial Intelligence. It is to promote and protect national AI technology and innovation. The initiative implements a whole of government strategy in collaboration and engagement with the private sector, academia, the public, and like-minded international partners. It directs the federal government to pursue 5 pillars for advancing AI, and I want you to look at number 3. Remove barriers to AI innovation. Now, what that's saying is that they have obstacles that are standing in their way right now. And they have to remove those obstacles. Remove barriers to AI innovation. Now, I want to look at page 12 because that's where those barriers come in. All right, they say that the U.S. is leading in the creation stage of AI. So we come up with great ideas, we come up with all that good stuff. But China leads in the adoption phase of AI because of structural factors. Because China does things completely different. Their government, their communities, the whole 9 yards, it's all set up there completely different than it is here in the United States. We have liberal democracy and they do not. They say that the reason why, or the structural factors, are that China has a lack of legacy systems, the scale of their consumer market is higher, and they have explicit government support and involvement. And then they give you some examples of what each of those things are. Notice this, because this is the part that I really wanted you to see, is the lack of legacy systems. And there's more than one. The example that they give is a lack of credit cards means more mobile payments. It's not just credit cards. Trust me, that's all in here. Cashless. They want to go cashless. They want to get rid of credit cards, debit cards. They want everybody to be on mobile. Okay? They have extreme urban density. Everyone lives on top of each other in these micro cities where you can't breathe, you have no privacy, and the government, the explicit government support, look at that. Facial recognition deployment. AI. They want to put cameras everywhere. All right, now let's show you some more of these obstacles that are standing in the way. Okay, check this out. Ride sharing. Look at what they say. China leads in adoption. Do you know why? A lack of mass car ownership. Legacy system. Can you imagine not having your own vehicle to drive? Can you imagine that? Because I can't. I can't imagine that at all. I don't want to imagine that. Could you imagine living in an extreme urban density where everybody's stacked on top of you? I can't. Now, for those of you who know anything about Deborah Tavares, don't forget about every single thing that she has talked about. And she's shown you proof of these things. Remember? Have you forgotten? She talked about the smart cities. She talked about using weather weapons, obliterating people's homes and making them have to move. All the wildfires in California. Don't forget all these things. It's all connected, y'all. There's agendas all over the place, and they're fulfilling them right now. Why do you think all these, why do you think they keep pushing the dates back? They're pushing the dates back because they're hoping that all these small businesses are going to fail. They know they're going to fail. They know they will. If they ride this out long enough, there's already, God only knows how many small business owners don't have a business anymore because of this. I haven't even checked the statistics on it because I don't even want to look at it because I know I'm going to be disgusted. I'm so pissed off right now, I can't even see straight. And I'm more angry because I know what it's going to take to change it. And the way generation after generation after generation has been dumbed down a little bit more and a little bit more, it saddens me. And it almost makes me lose a little bit of hope. I don't mean to be negative, but I'm just trying to be honest. I don't even like using the term dumbed down. I really don't, but I don't know any other way to say it. They don't care. Nobody freaking cares. Nobody cares that they're killing old people in these nursing homes. Nobody cares that they're doing all this crap. Nobody cares that people are going to starve. The United Nations came out the other day and said, if something doesn't change, we are looking at famine, global famine, biblical proportions, y'all. They're telling us. And it's just like, nobody cares. And I see a lot of people out protesting and stuff like that, but we need everybody to do it at one time. And that's the problem. We're not scaring them. They don't care that you're out there protesting, asking to let you go and open your business. They don't care. But I guarantee you, they'd have a hell of a fight on their hands if every single American who owned their own business in this country would just go out the same time. Let's plan it. Everybody go the same time and open up your business. They can't catch us all. Now, granted, we're talking millions of, from what I understand, there's millions of military on the ground. So what do you think they did that for? Because they were scared that, 300 plus million Americans were going to fight back. Let's move on to the next one. They talk about, and this goes along with the car thing. They talk about the modern infrastructure, like highways and all that started here. But China has made like the railways and all that stuff. Like right here, they use an example. An especially surreal example is a train station that was assembled in 9 hours by 1,500 workers. China is now leveraging this expertise as a way to accumulate and exert geopolitical power by exporting infrastructure. Look, they're talking about autonomous vehicles. All these things that they're talking about, autonomous vehicles, those are like electric cars. Those are AI self-driving vehicles versus all of us having our own vehicles. Here we go. There's your smart cities for Deborah Tavares right there. Surveillance equals smart cities. Look at this. Streets carpeted with cameras is good infrastructure for smart cities as well. Now I'm going to keep moving on because it's a lot. Why do you think all the doctors are getting fired or laid off, or the nurses and all that stuff? Why do you think the hospitals are empty and they're not letting anybody go see the doctor and all that? Why do you think that is? I wonder. Because in China, it's better because they have few doctors for the population, which is increasing the incentive to seek alternative treatment. Legacy system. Boom. There's another obstacle standing in their way that they're trying to get rid of. What more do I need to say, y'all? Honestly. This is sad. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous what they're doing to the American people and to the world. And anyways, let's look at this because this kind of goes in with the whole Kill Gates thing. Let's see. It's talking about the potential impact of government supplied data is even more significant in biology and healthcare. In the near future, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Chinese government require every single citizen to have their DNA sequenced and stored in government databases, something nearly impossible to imagine in places as privacy conscious as the US and Europe. Do you see where this is going? Do you see? This is only going to get worse. Now, when you go down here, you'll see that it says this is another reason that or shows you that they're trying to push a change by taking away our constitutional rights. That's what they're pushing in this. They say that in America and Europe, the press and politics paint AI as something to be feared because it's eroding privacy and stealing jobs. Oh, but China sees it as a tool for solving major macroeconomic challenges in order to sustain their economic miracle and an opportunity to take technological leadership on the global stage. Do you understand? They want to take all of our freaking rights away, y'all. I just don't even know. And then look what they say. Surveillance is one of the first and best customers for AI. You know, I mean, I can go on and on. In fact, there is a section in here that talks about the going cashless and making the point that, you know, mobile wallets are like the way to go and this and that and the other. I was trying to remember. Okay, actually, it's right here, I believe. Here we go. Look. And I remember when this happened. A big break came last year when India canceled 86% of currency in circulation in an effort to cut corruption and bring more people into the tax net by forcing them to use less cash. That was November the 8th of 2016, if I remember correctly. So y'all can check into that. But they did. The Prime Minister of India got up there and told the citizens that cash would be worthless in 4 hours. And now look what they go on to say. This would be unfathomable in the West, and unsurprisingly, when 86% of the cash got canceled and nobody had a credit card, they want to do away with cash and credit cards, mobile wallets exploded, laying the groundwork for a far more advanced payments ecosystem in India than the US. See, so it's all about keeping up with the frickin' Joneses, y'all. It's not about us anymore. Like Deborah said, we are the frickin' enemy now. And it's the truth. All this was a way to crash the world. I have a theory. And I'm going to throw it out at y'all in a minute. And you know what? I'm probably wrong, but from what I've learned, the research I've done the last few days, I kind of can't help but think it. So I'll get into that in a minute. But if you think that we really have a say-so in any of this, I want you to remember what old Bill Gates had to say about it. I mean, because in my opinion, he's not just talking about the VAXs, okay? He's not just talking about that when he says this.
But you don't have a choice. People act like you have a choice. People don't feel like going to the stadium when they might get infected. You know, it's not the government who's saying, okay, just ignore this disease. And, you know, people are deeply affected by seeing these deaths, by knowing they could be part of the transmission chain, and old people, their parents, their grandparents could be affected by this. And so you don't get to say ignore what's going on here. There will be the ability, particularly in rich countries, to open up if things are done well over the next few months. But for the world at large, normalcy only returns when we've largely vaccinated the entire global population. And
so, I mean, what more is there to say? The man is telling you that at the end of the day, none of this is ever going to be normal again. Because by the time this is all said and done, how many people have already lost their businesses? How many people have they killed? And I'm sorry, he can sit there and keep on repeating, well, people are good, afraid to be infected. That's all they're doing is pushing fear, y'all. That's it. They're just pushing the fear. That's all they're trying to do to keep people doing what they want them to do. It's obvious to me. But anyways, I want to get into the Judy thing and how that all folds into this. Because, like I said, I have a theory and I'm going to throw it at you in a minute. But I'm just going to jump back over here for right now. But let me get into the next part of this, because, all right, when I watched the interview, with Judy, Mikovits on Valuetainment the other night, the one that's been taken down, many of them have been taken down. You got to ask yourself, when that woman comes out and tells the truth, they ruin her life. And now she's trying to tell everybody the truth about the forced VAX they're trying to push on everybody, that they will push on everybody. Remember what old Bill Gates just said? You don't have a choice. And nothing's going to even begin to feel right until the global population is largely, you know what. So they're coming for us. They're coming for us with that needle. They are coming for every single one of us. But the point that I wanted to make is this, and I can't show you the video because it's not there. So all I can do is ask you to take my word. I'm hoping that maybe y'all saw it for yourself. But she came out, and she's been coming out, talking about how Anthony Fauci and all the rest of them scumbags screwed her over. And this man is standing up there knowing what the VAXs do to people, and he's telling us all what to do. Well, he needs to freaking go. I don't like him. He creeps me out. He's freaking weird, and he needs to go. I'm sorry. He has no business telling everybody what to do. Go back to your little rat hole, dude. But anyways, so I didn't realize that Dr. Fauci backed the controversial Wuhan Lab with US dollars for risky coronavirus research. If I could just get the words out of my mouth, I'd be doing great right now. What is this man doing in the Wuhan Lab doing research on bat coronaviruses, and then all of a sudden the world's gone to hell because of coronavirus? Do you believe that's a coincidence? Because I sure freaking hell don't. There's no way that's just a coincidence. Now, the experiments or research, they call it, that they were doing is called gain of function research, okay? Now, from what this article says, that many scientists have criticized that type of research because it involves manipulating viruses in the lab to explore their potential for infecting humans, because it creates a risk of starting a pandemic from accidental release. So what happens, according to what Judy said, is that type of research, manipulating viruses in the lab, has been banned in the United States. It was banned in the United States, y'all. So let me get this straight. You can't do it in the United States. Well, if I'm Anthony Fauci, I'm just going to go to another country and do it. Let's say Wuhan, China, which is exactly what he did. Collecting and studying bat coronaviruses. Now, it goes on down here and it says that, right here, it says that the NIH research consisted of 2 parts. The first part began in 2014. They did surveillance of bat coronaviruses. And that part of the project was completed in 2019. Now listen to this. So 2014 they start the first part of it, and it ended in 2019. That's the first part. It ends in 2019. Now, the second phase of the project beginning that year, 2019, included additional surveillance work, but also gain of function research for the understanding how bat coronaviruses could mutate to attack humans. Now, this right here. Notice this. So they go on, they're doing the second part. This is 2019, right? NIH canceled the project just this past Friday, April the 24th. So they come out and just cancel the project April the 24th of 2019. And then December, what happens in December? Well, I think we all know what happens in December. So he funds this lab. He goes over there. He's doing all this research. They just cancel the project after 5.5 years. All of a sudden, you're just gonna cancel the project? I mean, come on, y'all. You can't make this crap up. Now listen, a decade ago, during a controversy over that type of research on bird flu viruses, Dr. Fauci played an important role in promoting the work. Listen, he argued that the research was worth the risk it entailed because it enables scientists to make preparations, such as investigating possible antiviral medications that could be useful if and when a pandemic occurred. I mean, this is freaking ridiculous. And yet, I can't understand how he can be allowed, if it came from there and he funded it. And now the world's gone to hell. Now listen, this is really, really important. You know, Judy told her story, right? And I realized something. So in 2009, she comes out and she writes the paper which exposes the fact that VAXs, when you use animal, human tissue, well, basically the blood supply was contaminated, and that the VAXs were driving the disease instead of helping the disease. Basically, that they're bad. They're causing people to freaking die. They ruin her life, lock her up in jail, this and that and the other. She has a gag order on her for 5 years, can't say anything to anybody. And then look what happens. 2011, decade of VAXs. Global Plan 2011 to 2020. I really wish that you could see that video, because in that video, she goes on to say how the forced VAX that's coming on everybody on the globe, that what it's going to do is it's going to wake up all the sleeping viruses that are in your body. Your immune system is going to overload, and it's going to kill a lot of people. Now, I want you to think about this time period, and I want you to think about how many people they stuck in the butt, basically. How many people have more viruses in their body and more things in their body now? Imagine the diseases that people don't even know they have. This plan was endorsed by 194 members of the states of the World Health Assembly in May 2012. Multiple stakeholders involved in it. Leaders of the Kill and Freaky Looking Woman Gates Foundation, Gavi Alliance, UNICEF, the U.S. National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases. That's Fauci right there. That's Fauci. He's the head of it. And the World Health Organization, along with all partners, governments, elected officials, health professionals, academia, manufacturers, global agencies, development partners, civil society, media, the private sector, are committed to achieving the ambitious goals of the GVAP. Come on, man. And look here. This is an, well, you know what schedule. Look at all of these right here. Many of us have had all these. Many of us. Look at all this. This is ridiculous. Look at ketchup. Ambilius. It starts telling you all the different things. Da 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 da. I mean, give me a break. It's ridiculous. And, you know, she did say, too, that anybody who's had the flu, VAX, has CV. That it's got it in it. So do I think it was a plan? You damn right I think it was a plan. So my question is this. What if it was, and this is probably going to piss some people off, and I'm sorry, but I'm just running things around in my head, okay? So I'm not saying this is it. I'm just saying what if? What if it was really us? What if it was really us who did this? Okay, Fauci. Now, you can't do that kind of research here. We really, really need that to be out in the population, okay? We really need it. We need people to think that they're catching something, okay? Which they already have. Most of them already have because of the FLU VAX. But we need you to go somewhere else to do your research on that. Get what you need. You know, we need it. This is what we need to happen. So he turns around, finds the Wuhan Lab, funds them to do the research, makes it look like somebody else did it, makes it look like it came from there. And guess what? Now, Bill Gates, his agenda's fulfilled. He's getting his wish. He's been wanting to stick everybody for a long time because he's all about eugenics and Depop and pop control and all that. Fauci's just a creep. He just likes being, you know, the mad scientist in his little lab, being a weirdo, acting like he knows everything, likes being in the spotlight. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care what you think. That man likes the attention. He does. He likes standing up there, everybody coming to him, asking him all these questions. He likes the control. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. You might hear me cuss from time to time, y'all. I do have a filthy mouth, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. I need to work on it, and I am. But anyway, it pisses me off. I'm mad. These people don't have any right to stand up there and dictate what we do. But they are.